gentlemen, please welcome to the field from San Antonio, Texas, Crossman.
Can't use an alternate.
You'll be my go-to guy.
It doesn't work that way. Oh, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. It's the Bones Hour. We're usually on Thursdays from 1:30 to 2:30, but this is special. The Bones are moving in to San Antonio. Fred, you smiling like a prom date or something. What's going on over there?
I'm real happy, Mark. It's here.
I know, and you know what we did? We got the snare drummers right here. We've got the bass drummers right here. 2 first-time crossmen. He's like, where'd everybody else go? He left them. But we got 2 first-time crossmen sitting with us as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome again. You can find everything Crossman online at crossman.org. Follow him on Twitter at Crossman. Go ahead, Fred. I got you. So we're going to do – you all right?
Yes.
Fred's got business to do right now, so we're going to –
No, I want you to talk to this gentleman.
Oh, we're going to talk to this guy right here. So, again, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. This is how it happens live. But Chelsea's sitting here. She's from Massachusetts. She's like, I'm trying to figure out what does Dizzy mean? I didn't understand what that meant. Chloe, sorry about that. I'm calling her Chelsea Chloe for the rest of the season. We've got our good friend, young man, right here sitting next to us. First-time Bones. He's a bass drummer from Saginaw. We're going to bring him on in a minute. But I've got another young man wearing a cowboy shirt. I didn't know Tony Romo played bass drum or anything, but he is a good hat model, Tony Romo is.
Yes, he is.
I cannot believe that they did not draft Johnny Manziel.
Well, I think Jerry Jones finally made a football decision.
Well, no, I think Jerry Jones was jealous that Johnny was going to get more media than Jerry was going to do. So
that is probably true.
So introduce yourself, young man.
My name is Raul Martinez. I'm a manager with the HEB Food and Drug Stores.
I love HEB. I go there every day. I'm not kidding you. I do. Seriously.
Well, thank you.
Because I forget something, I got to go back. So
well,
what do you do at HEB, and why are you here tonight?
Well, I'm a bakery manager down in the valley, down in Brownsville. And I'm here mainly because HEB was able to be a pretty big supporter this year of the Crossmen, and we're hoping to support the Crossmen in years to come now, especially
awesome.
since you guys are right in our backyard of the corporate headquarters.
Hometown.
That's right. So hopefully with the help of Fred and Maureen, we'll get you some more exposure throughout San Antonio and throughout South Texas. And again, HEB is proud to be sponsoring and helping out the Crossmen as much as possible this year.
So are you you're doing so much for HEB and everything like that? Are you going to come out here and volunteer for the Crossmen and be one of the 151s?
Well, if I can get one more week of vacation, I just might spend that week over here.
I tell you what, we need some help tonight, so don't go anywhere. I'm just letting you know right now. But again, seriously, on behalf of the Crossmen, my name is Mark. I'm on the board of directors. I'm also do the radio show every week. Thank HEB and what you guys do for not only our communities but our families, but obviously for the Crossmen.
Well, I appreciate it. Back in high school, I was a band geek myself.
What'd you play?
Saxophone. So
we don't have that in the Crossmen.
Yeah, I know, but
maybe one day.
But I was a drum major of the local high school, so maybe I could have tried out for that.
Oh, Caitlin won't like that. She don't want her job going anywhere.
But no, I got involved with the Crossmen a few years ago when one of my sons, Joseph, who aged out in 2012 and was part of that final group. And then I got my youngest son, Jason, who's also a trumpet player, and this is, I believe, his 3rd year now with the Crossmen.
Oh, yeah.
So Crossmen is really dear to our hearts.
Now, be honest with us. Does he call home and cry and saying, "Oh, Padre, I'm so hot. It's so hot"?
No, I think he was real happy when he left home.
He was like, "I'm gone for the summer."
He was. I think he was 16 when he tried out and marched at 17.
But see, Mom knows. Mom's the boss.
Yeah, Mom would know that.
So 17 and came out to the Crossmen doing a great job. Now it's his 3rd year.
Yes.
Is he looking forward to it?
He's looking forward. He's very excited about the show, and he's really, really excited. So am I about the West Coast tour.
Oh, yeah, West Coast trip. So to be honest, I'm going to ask Mom this, and of course I know you're going to know the answer. How smelly are his clothes when he gets back? You just throw the clothes away?
Actually, he does us a favor and throws them away before he gets home.
I'm telling you. And everybody over here standing here is like, yeah, I do the same thing to mine. You don't want those clothes. When I was on the Navy, we used to do the same thing. We'd come off cruise, and we're like, yeah, you don't want these clothes anywhere near the house.
Yep.
So congratulations to you. Obviously, 3rd year again. Congratulations, and thanks to everything for HEB and what you do for us.
Well, you're welcome, and we want to wish the Crossmen the best of luck this summer.
That's right. I'm telling you what. Go Johnny Manziel. I'm just playing.
You guys have a good one.
Are you a Spurs fan?
Yes, I am.
You better be.
Yes,
You're
I
in
am.
San Antonio.
With that said, I'll end it by saying, "Go Spurs, go!"
There you go. You came up from the valley. Thank you again, sir.
Thank you.
We're gonna put a snare drummer over there, but so we're gonna turn the microphones on for the bass drummers. How are you doing, young man?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing good. So introduce yourself to everybody in the world that are listening, because everybody it's been on all the Twitters, it's all over the Facebooks. Every drum corps page has got this right now. So everybody's listening in. So you're from Saginaw. Tell everybody what your name is.
Yes, sir. I'm Jacob Tilley. I'm 17 years old from Saginaw, Texas. I go to Saginaw High School where I march snare drum, and I just found out today that I'm co-drum captain for next year.
For next year?
Yes, sir.
So you already working on cadences?
Yes, sir. We have our cadences already, but we should get show music soon, so I'm excited about that.
So what you
too.
need to do is you need to bring your drum line down here for the drumline battle on June 13th.
I have
And
talked to them about
go
that.
against my group of guys. They're all
I have
former
talked to them
DCI.
about that
So
already.
have you?
Yeah, they're considering it. I'm not sure if they're
Oh,
coming
that's
yet.
awesome. So you have to go get your own drum line. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, you can't go back and forth, man. It don't work that way. So how cool is it, and how much work did you do in order to get here today?
Well, I started practicing in 6th grade when I joined band, but for Crossman specifically, I've been working for close to a year. I was introduced to drum corps my freshman year of high school. I started watching YouTube videos with my friends and
Watching
I
these
thought it
guys?
was- yes, sir. I thought it was great, so I told myself that I was going to put myself in one of those drum corps. So I started working my freshman year. I've worked about 2.5 years, and here I am.
That's so awesome. The snare drummers are bashful. I'm a snare drummer since 6th grade through college, through high school, all that stuff. And the snare drummers for Crossman are like, you go. No, I can't. No, you go. No, I can't.
I'm sorry, but I stutter, so I can't speak right now.
Here we go. Sorry, but wow, you were pretty clear on that one. That's incredible. So, of course, we've got the battery in the house. You know, we've done, like I said, we've had Jared Thomas do his own hour show, and he talked about it live and about Jared Thomas, of course. But we've also got, besides you, young man, we've got another first-year Crossman here. She didn't know what Dizzy was, so she'll get explained it, right? She'll know what Dizzy is.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So introduce yourself and where are you from?
Hi, I'm Chloe Curry. I'm from Massachusetts, and this is my first year with the Crossman.
Yeah, they don't have a football team up in Massachusetts. So where were you before you came to the Crossman?
I marched Jersey Surf before here.
For where?
Jersey Surf.
Never heard of them. Never heard of them. Never heard of them. I'm just kidding. I'm totally Crossman to the bones. Ah, did you get that? Did you get it? Did you see what I did there? It was very nice. So how excited are you to be here with the Crossman?
I'm really excited just to see where we can go this year.
It's the 40th year.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 20.
Wow, so see, do the math.
One more year left.
One more year?
Yep.
Are you going to come back?
Yes, sir.
You're 17, man. You got plenty of years.
I'm getting a job as soon as I get back, and I'm saving up.
You want to be wearing one of these shirts one day when these guys have on?
Yes, sir.
What everybody's looking at, it says Crossman Snare Line Boots on it, and it's got their names on the back and numbers so we can identify their body as they out there falling around on the field. But you're 17, so what do you want to recommend to him? 17 years old, first time on the line, so to speak. What do you want to recommend to him?
I would just recommend realizing where you are, like what you're doing in the realm of like the rest of the world. How actually what drum corps is doing is not about the hands. It's all about like building your mind and becoming a better person. So anytime you're struggling, just know like it's a good thing.
He's a
like
future engineer, by the way.
And so am I.
Are you? Really?
I want to be a mechanical engineer.
Well, there you go.
Fantastic.
So we got one of the snare drummers up here, one of the world famous snare line, I'm telling you. So introduce yourself and tell everybody where you're from.
My name's Ben Greenberg. I'm from Midland, Michigan. And, currently go to the University of Michigan and came to Crossman to live the dream.
Go blue. So
Yes,
how many
sir.
years you been with the Crossman?
This is my first year.
Really?
Yep.
Made the snare on first year.
Yes, sir.
Where'd you march before?
I marched at Legends Drum and Bugle Corps in Kalamazoo, Michigan for
Oh,
2
yeah.
years.
Yeah, nice job. Nice
So-
job. So what are you looking forward to this year?
Just the tradition that Crossman brings. Like, it's 40 years.
And I'm not
which is
going
a
to
big
mention
year.
your boss is standing right behind you, so he's listening to every word you're saying.
40 years of tradition is something that I've never been a part of. So just being engrossed in all of the family and things that have been around for so long and created such a successful organization is something I'm really looking forward to.
It's amazing because, like I said, we've got 3 of the greatest percussionists in the world sitting right here with me. And me being an old snare drummer, I'm just honored to be sitting here. But there are so many alumni who are listening. And obviously, there's a big, big thing. And Fred will sit down and talk about it in a bit. But huge thing happened in Pennsylvania this year with all the alumni. How cool is that you literally sitting in and filling the shoes of folks who've done this years and years ago?
Yeah, I mean, that's something really special that you can't really say about a lot of organizations, especially nowadays, where drum corps are not able to find the funds for reasons and other reasons aren't able to stick around and give kids the opportunity. So to see an organization that has continued administration after administration and kept that strength is something that's very special these days. So it'll be cool to see all of those people who have gone through the program and grown.
One of the things that Fred brought when I first sat down and talked to Fred years ago, he goes, the Crossman is a family. And that's when you really get intense, because when you go to the year-end banquet and everything, you see all the camaraderie and the friendships that go on, just not from here, but for years. And there's a lot of alumni that have been best friends and next-door neighbors for 40 years. So this is so cool that you guys are here. I mean, it's first time being on the Crossman, and yourself and snare drummer, 2 bass drummers. This is going to be a cool year.
Absolutely.
You guys ready to get to work tonight?
Of course.
Yes.
Look at it. He's like, yeah, I'm ready. Where's my bass drum? I'm ready to go. So how hard is it to go? Obviously, you're a snare drummer at your high school. How hard is it to go from snare to learning a bass?
Well, I was lucky enough to have marched bass before I marched snare at my high school, so I had some experience there. And then I just absorbed everything from the text that I could and kept working, noticed what I needed to work on most, and got it done.
That's awesome. Do you want to be a snare drummer in the Crossman? You got one more year.
I'm a bass drummer. Always.
Wow. Wow. The snare drummer's over here going,
that.
yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
If you're good at your craft, keep what you're doing.
Absolutely.
That's why I went to the Triangle afterwards, because I knew I wasn't good on the snare. So, but no, I thank you guys for visiting with us and everything. I'm going to get Fred down here, and I'm going to get 3 more folks to sit down with us. But congratulations on your selection, your contract.
Thank you.
Good job, young man. That's awesome. Saginaw, Texas right there. It's a suburb. It's right up from the road from San Antonio. Hey, y'all sit down. Not that guy. He's not playing. That's my son right there. I don't know where the keys are. I think they're behind me. So I got Fred sitting back down again, and I got 2 more incredible Crossman sitting here next to us. Folks, if you're listening from around the world, you can chat with us live on the Spreaker chat. It's Spreaker.com. The user's I Speak For You. And, of course, you go to Bones Move-In Special. There's a little chat button right there. Chat with us if you want to. If not, you can just listen to us live on ispeakforyou.net. And, of course, it's on Twitter. It's on all the drum line and drum corps Facebooks and Twitters. Got
Good.
this.
All right.
So
That's
this is
cool.
incredible. So,
Yeah.
Fred, do you know who's sitting down at the table with us?
Well, just ask them, Mark. Ask
Okay,
them.
so who's sitting down with us? Don't be shy.
I'm Tara Jurgens, and I'm a mellophone player.
Ouch, that's hard work. And you, sir?
I'm Hunter Claunch, and I am a cymbal player.
Cymbal
Mark,
player.
you-
Not to take anything with it, but when you have your own Facebook page and you're on the Crossman cymbal line, you know you've made it.
Mark, you've got to stop showing your favoritism towards percussion.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was a trumpet player first for about 6 months, and then I saw the light and went drums. But anyway, so how is it? Is this your first year in the Crossman?
Yeah, this is my first year.
Wow, a lot of first years sitting down. I
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
So what are you looking forward to?
Definitely the traveling.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you ever been on the West Coast? Where are you from?
I'm from Pearland, Texas.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, it's a suburb of San Antonio. So, have you ever been on the West Coast? I know people are like, what? That's not a suburb.
The people from Houston are now sending ICBMs our way.
I know. I was just in Houston last week, too. So, what are you looking forward to besides the travel?
Just performing with, especially my line. My line is, we're already extremely close, and I absolutely love it.
That's awesome.
Great.
And what about you, young man? Oh, the cymbals. Oh, my goodness. Here we go.
I'm happy to be here. I mean, to make one of the best cymbal lines in the world, I mean, I would have never thought I could do this at all. It never crossed my mind that I'd be good enough to be on a Crossman line. I'm just super stoked.
So I got to ask you guys, when you came out to the experience camps and everything like that, and then you got the callbacks, and you're sitting there excited on the phone like, oh man, I'm going back. did you? I mean, obviously for yourself for the cymbals, did you start working out because those cymbals are not light?
Oh yeah, believe me. I mean, I went home and I took a pair of the cymbals from my high school, and I mean they were lighter, so I had to sit there and work and like try to. What we did was our tech she would send us videos right. of like warm ups that we had to learn, visual warm ups, and I would sit there and watch that visual warm up over and over and over again, and I learned the entire visual sequence through the video, and I was just like, I never thought I could do that because I only had a cymbal tech for a week, like whenever I first got on cymbals my sophomore year in high school. I had a week of teaching, and then after that, it was all YouTube.
Wow. That's how I learned how to play snare. But actually, they didn't have YouTube back when I played snare. Don't look at me, Fred. Don't look at me. But no, I mean, it was one of the things, same thing for you. Did you go home with your mellophone and like, man, I've really got to up my game a little bit?
Oh, yeah. I would put weight, like not ankle weights, but like wrist weights, and I'll just sit there and hold my horn.
Good point.
Yeah.
Just hold my horn for as long as I can, and while I was holding it, just work on the more difficult passages that we have, and work those.
Yeah, because it's and I talked to Fred. I think one of the very first questions I ever asked Fred 3 or 4 years ago was, what do you want to tell folks who are trying out for the Crossman? And he was like, practice, practice, practice. So how important is it to practice on the mellophone or the cymbals?
Oh, it's extremely important.
to get where you are right now, because not everybody can be where you are.
It's extremely important because, one, being a mellophone player, we have a lot of runs. And we have to get those clean and down and precise and together, and you just have to keep practicing it to get it right.
Are you nervous?
Extremely.
And it all begins tonight. I mean, this isn't like you move in, you're like, oh, social hour, we're going to have punch and cupcakes and stuff. It's not going to work. Look at Fred smiling. I mean, the work really starts happening tonight. You'll be fine. You'll be fine because you've worked so hard to be here.
Right.
And it's one of those things like, and I told a young man earlier, I said, embrace each moment because you are one of the few that get to step on the field with the Crossman. And look at her. She's even getting more nervous now. So I'm going to ask you, cymbal player, there's Jared. Jared's like, I want my shot, Mark. Give me, I want to be back on the mic. So
he just turned around and
Jared
walked
Thomas,
the other
of course,
way.
trumpet player. But how exciting is it when you are in that brand new uniform and you're literally 10 seconds away from stepping on the field for the first time this year? What do you think that experience is going to be like?
One of the greatest ones that I'll ever experience in my life. I mean, we're starting like the new generation of Crossmen with the new uniforms, the storyline, like everything. And like to be able to perform, I mean, especially the cymbals, like the visuals that we're going to put in, like everything, it's going to be like mind-blowing. I'm going to be so stoked. I'm so excited.
3 weeks, a lot of work to put in, and obviously, like the football players, you say, "Oh yeah, we have 2-a-days." In the Crossman, it's just 1 day. It's not. It's a 1-a-day, but it's the whole
all
day.
Yes.
That's right. That's right.
All day.
I mean, it starts at what time, Fred? What time do we start in the morning?
I think they get up at 7:30, and they'll go do a run for a mile and a few, calisthenics, and make sure they're warmed up.
Look at her. She's like a few.
Then they'll do, then they'll have breakfast.
So you can wait. Hold on. You can use that tomorrow. I'll be like, look, Fred said just a few, not 30.
I forgot the 100.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Oh, he said a mile though.
They'll just get warmed up and ready to go and have breakfast and then go right to rehearsal from there.
But the schedule tonight, Fred, I mean, like I said, it kicks off tonight. There's socializing now and everything, but the work really begins.
Yeah, from 6 to 8 is when people are signing in, bringing their stuff, getting situated, and getting the lay of the land here. And then at 8 o'clock, they're going right to sectionals. And then around 10 or so, we'll have a nice meeting and bring everybody up to speed. Yeah, it'll be a nice meeting. And, they'll have snack, and then we'll get ready for the real work tomorrow.
What would you advise? I mean, obviously we got first year. What do you advise them when? I mean, obviously tonight you'll go through it in the meeting and everything. But what do you like to say to the first year, especially the 40th year of the Crossman this year?
Well, I won't focus on the first part. The first part is this first week. It's the hardest. It's the hardest part of the whole thing. And if you can find your way through that and know every day that clicks off, you're getting closer to that point where it starts to become natural and normal, then you'll be fine. But there are folks that lose heart in that first week, and they just say, that's it, and they go home. It's amazing. After all the work that went in starting in November, and you tell them, look, just hang in there, one day at a time. And if you can take that approach, you'll be there at the end when it comes to August.
I'm watching them.
Yep.
I'm watching them, see what their expressions like. Simple players are like, he's like, I'm just carrying 50-pound weights in each hand right now, so I'm good to go.
I mean, what you rely on is the vets, the veteran leaders, and talk to them. Okay, this is how I'm feeling. How do I get through this? And they'll help. But the biggest thing is just don't give up. Never, 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 never give up.
Yeah. So how important is that? I mean, and like in the military, when I was in the Blue Angels, we did that. Our first week was like the hardest week ever I've did in 22 years of my military career. But it was because they did that. They're like, okay, look, we want to see if you've got what it's made of. But obviously, you guys being here, like Fred said, all the work you've done up to this point, you're ready for.
As ready as you can be.
That's it. You don't know what you don't know, right?
Right.
And you're going to learn, and the first week is all about learning what you need to do. Now, you guys have worked a lot between camps, too, to keep preparing yourselves. And I'm sure you heard me and Brad and whoever else say a million times, make sure you run, make sure you get your aerobic conditioning, blah, blah, until we were blue in the face. Because because it makes that tough experience a miserable one if you don't do that work, right? So if you've done that part, you check that box, you're going to be great. It's still going to be one of the hardest things you'll ever do in your lifetime, but it's so much worth it.
So what was your physical fitness like, Mellophone? What did you did you go to the gym every day? I mean,
I started Insanity.
Oh, ouch. I was insane when I did
Mark's
Insanity.
been on Insanity for a long time
for a long time. But no, you started Insanity. I mean, that's one of the hardest programs you can do.
It's terrible.
That didn't hurt. That hurts.
Yeah.
And Simple Player, what did you do?
What we did for PT, like all the different types of like different variations of workouts that they taught us. Well, I had to work like every weekday until like 10 o'clock, and then I'd go home.
Where'd you work?
A little crawfish place, LA Crawfish Express.
There you go. Give a shout out.
And then, like, I would just take that and I'd go in like the middle of the street in my neighborhood because like in 10 o'clock nobody's really out.
Right.
And I'd sit there and I'd run up and down. I actually ran until I threw up once, and I had to run home. And
you're going to do that this week, just let you know.
And I just did all the PT workouts, the ab exercises, like while I was walking, do like the dips, the crab push-ups down the street. So I just took everything that I learned at the PT and used that for me. So
did you bring your 42-inch plasma flat screens with you and everything?
Totally,
Xbox and all that?
Oh, yeah.
It's just camp.
Just everything.
Summer camp.
As long as they roll up and fit into a 24 by whatever suitcase, right?
I see that. I mean, there's those little markings on the ground, and I thought, is that spots for, like, practice? But no, it's actually sleeping areas.
Well, and... we
that.
do this, and this
is
a lot like what happens on tour.
Right.
This building's not a gymnasium, but you end up in about the same amount of space. So you got to figure out how to make everybody fit. A number of the young ladies will be in the penthouse.
Hey.
Yeah, in the press box.
Yeah.
Hey.
And the staff is on the fourth floor, I think, of the penthouse, but. Anyway, so they'll have a nice view every morning, looking out their window.
And what I think it was last year we were looking at the storm come in before we did the MMX, and we were up in the penthouse, which is actually the press box for the stadium, and we were just watching it come in, and I was going, they have put sleeping bags and blow-up mattresses in every square inch of this facility.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to do when you have 150 core plus all the great 151 volunteers that we have.
You got over 200 people here, right, to take care of. And there's some folks that can go home each night volunteer-wise or even some of the admin folks, but a number of us are staying in the RV and that as our office so that everybody knows where to find someone in case anything happens. But
it's amazing.
So we're stuffing them in nooks and crannies everywhere.
Y'all didn't know that?
No.
I know that
you thought you had hotels or something?
Oh, no.
Oh, staying in here?
Well, you may not be staying in here.
Huh?
No, I'm like, it's different. It's different areas, right?
The guys are here in this room.
Okay.
Yeah.
All the guys?
Yes.
You don't want all guys in one room, man.
Yes.
I did that in the Navy. That was bad.
That's just the way it is in drum corps. Okay? You just have to get used to that.
I'm not even. Oh,
so you're quitting already, Mark? We haven't even gotten started.
The fumes already have got me. I'm reneging my contract right now, so I'm not gonna be able to make it this year. But again, congratulations on making it.
Thanks.
To the Crossmen.
Thanks.
Have you seen the new uniforms?
Yes.
Are you excited?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
There are people out in the world that would do anything right now to see the new uniforms, and you guys already have.
They're pretty great.
They're beautiful.
They're pretty great.
Look at Fred smiling.
The rest of the world will get to see it after History Night, because all the alums that are going to come down for History Night,
Yep.
we're going to make sure that they get to see them first. The folks that contributed to help make this a reality, they all got a sneak peek photograph.
Yes, thanks to those folks that contributed, and obviously HEB did a great job.
Yeah.
Put in some.
I think they have
money
been
there.
the ones that put us over the top.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Yep. And HEB, as you heard earlier, a young man that was here is here from HEB, seeing what they can do to help out the Crossmen. His son's a third-year trumpet, so I mean, it's just a family here.
And his older son marched here too,
Right.
Joseph. Yeah.
So it's incredible.
Yeah.
So you guys ready?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you don't sound ready. Wait till I get on the big microphone out there.
Well, Mark, you should just come back in a week and ask.
That's
Okay,
right.
how was it?
That's right. How was your first week? Yeah, how was first week? So yeah, we're gonna do that.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So tell everybody again your name, mellophone.
Tara Jurgens.
Tara Jurgens, and you, sir.
Hunter Claunch.
Hunter. Again, where are you from, Hunter?
Oh, I'm from Pearland also. Pearland, Texas.
Are you? Do you guys know each other before you came here?
Yeah, we go to school together.
Ah. Do you have a boyfriend?
No.
Do you have a girlfriend?
Yeah.
Does she know what you're doing?
Yeah.
Does
She was balling this morning. I
Was
didn't tell
she?
her bye. Yeah.
What's her name?
Her name's Shannon Cowan.
Oh, Shannon. Don't worry, Shannon. He'll call you. It'll be late.
Yeah.
It'll be very late when he calls
He'll
you.
come back home buff.
He will be.
Yeah.
Yeah, his arms are gonna be like, you're like, whoa, you've been working out. Now I've been carrying some cymbals all summer long. But you know, you guys do cymbal day, right? Where you just carry the cymbals the whole
Oh
day.
yeah, Edward's cymbal hands.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. That is so awesome. But I appreciate you guys for sitting down and talking the time and everything with us. Obviously, you got about 30 minutes before you start working.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, like an hour and a half. But she's like, what? Did you bring your gloves?
Yes. I have
Okay.
lots of
Did you bring your
gloves.
gloves?
Yep.
All right, good. Lots of gloves. And drink. Make sure you hydrate. You know this Texas heat.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Not
Oh
really.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
whatever.
She's
I
new.
just
She's
got
new to
here.
Texas.
Where you move from?
Tennessee.
Oh yeah, this heat's a lot different from Tennessee. I'll
Yeah,
tell you that.
Tennessee's a little on the humid side, but
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we have the great weather where it's hot and sunny and 90 degrees, and then 30 minutes later it's raining and 60. So
Yeah.
You know, last year was a little bit weird during spring training.
It was.
Yeah, every year prior to that, you could count on it being 85 or 90 every day. And then if we got any rain, it was in the middle of the night, a thunderstorm or something. And last year, that all changed.
that changed.
Yeah.
It rained on us during the day.
Yeah, we had, so really didn't get that hot. You know, not like it had in years past.
Yeah, but we enjoy it, though. We enjoy it. Well, I'd like to thank you two young folks for sitting down with us and everything and talking to us. And
Thanks,
and I'm going to interview Fred for a little bit, and then we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be right back, folks. Again, thank you all for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Next week, we'll see how you feel.
All right.
We should have took the pre-photo, like they're all smiles and everything. Next week, they're like,
You know, you should,
could
because
be
they're
sleeping.
probably a little bit tanner, too, when you see them next time.
We'll be burnt.
you're right.
I'll be burnt.
Yeah, the wicked tan lines that DCI get is incredible.
Yeah, the shoe tan.
The
Yeah.
shoe tan, yeah. And what was the one? That was it was a shoe tan with the socks. Like the feet were like so white.
Yeah.
Yeah, get ready for that.
All right.
Sunscreen and hydrate. That's what I recommend. And smile. Have fun. Right?
Yep.
Thank you.
go.
Thank you.
So,
Thanks, you bet.
Fred, for the 40th year, what can people expect?
The Crossmen.
I know.
And, you know, everybody's working real hard. We're probably the best prepared that we've been probably since the move, as far as having things ready, musically, drill-wise, design-wise. The kids prepared. You know, there's so much more that's done between camps now. They have assignments.
Right.
You know, they post YouTube videos. They get evaluated every day.
Oh, wow.
So all that stuff happens that helps us be a better drum corps. And so we're looking forward. This
You're
is
looking-
always the part of the year when you know, everything's wonderful.
Yeah, because you're looking a lot more comfortable than you have in years past.
Oh, yeah, probably. Yeah, but when you're surrounded by great people, you're able to relax a little bit. So
because
we've got good folks.
The staff are amazing. Obviously, the 151s have already started arriving, and folks, what the 151s are is the volunteers for the Crossmen, and they come from around the world to help out.
They do.
It's just amazing.
Yeah, we had some of our friends. We have 4 Japanese young people in the Corps this year, and they came in a little early, so we needed someone to step up and help us by providing them a place to stay. So our friends, the McAvoys, put them all up, and their grandson also knows a little Japanese. I forget the story of whether he traveled with his dad in the military or whatever, and were stationed over there and learned some Japanese, so they were able to communicate a little bit. So they had a good time, and Leanna brought everybody over so they could check in. So you get that kind of help, people that you can count on,
right.
And the kids are in great hands. We know that they're well taken care of. That all makes for fun. And then we have our volunteer of the year, Denise.
I know she's going to sit down right next to me right here because we're going to put her on the air in a minute. It was funny because I went out to the truck because my son's here and now he's reading a book. But Petey came in and said, "Oh, I'm looking for something," and then Matthew jumped up and went and helped. He's like, "I'm gonna go help with the food truck." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah. Then Petey came in again when you were interviewing me and I had to jump up.
Yeah.
It's because the reefer wouldn't start.
Oh, let's see.
So
Fred, man of all trades.
Yeah. So Mr. Martinez interviewed, and I walked out there and I fixed it. You know how I fixed it?
You turned it on?
I just looked at it. I just stood there and looked at it.
It was like, oops.
And Petey's got his hands folded praying that it starts.
Right.
And it started right up. And it's been running ever since. So I don't know what the heck was wrong.
It was like, oh, where's Fred? Oh, there's Fred. Okay, I can start now.
Because I just picked it up today. They serviced it and got it ready. So
that's right.
I was really surprised when he said it wouldn't kick over.
That's awesome.
It's
so
fine.
We're going to take a quick 30-second break. What we're going to do is we're going to play the Crossman mission statement. Listen to it because the Crossman is family, but it's also so much more than that. Find out more information, of course, at crossman.org. We'll be right back. For 40 years, Crossmen have enriched and shaped the lives of young musicians through music education and performing arts. Family, honesty, perseverance, dedication, independence, interdependence, and excellence are taught and practiced by each and every member at Crossmen. We are committed to teaching our members the life skills they need to succeed. Find us online at crossman.org.
Cutting paper.
So we've got the Crossman Volunteer of the Year sitting here next to me.
There were 2.
I know there were 2, but the other one's not here.
He will be. It wasn't just me.
Look at Media Star. He's like, what about me? How come I'm not on the radio? I always talk about you. I even have a Facebook fan page for you. So I've got Caitlin sitting here. Of course, she's damaged, but she still works. One of the greatest conductors in the world. Isn't that right?
I'm not too sure about that.
I'll say it. I'll go ahead and say it. So, 2 wonderful ladies here that lead the Crossmen, I'll say. Denise, what are you looking forward to the 40th year? What is going on?
Oh, it's my oldest son's age-out year.
Oh.
Can't wait to see the kids on the field in the new uniforms.
Have you seen it? Of course you have.
I have seen the uniforms.
I know you have.
Haven't seen them in person. I've only seen pictures.
They're beautiful.
The guard uniforms are spectacular.
I have not seen that one.
They're gorgeous. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be exciting. 40th year. Are you ready to conduct this corps?
I am so excited. I can't wait to see the new uniforms. Like,
you haven't seen them?
No, I've seen pictures.
I was about to say, I know you've seen them.
I want to see everybody like in them. And then West Coast, it's going to be super fun. Having the banquet in Allentown will be super fun. I just can't wait.
A lot of alumni are listening to us live right now. They've been texting us and everything. And I know I've seen it. I've seen it in person.
Ooh, they're flashy.
Because they came to the show. We did a show about, I don't know, a month ago or something. And Joel goes, oh, look. And I was looking at it, and I went, what? And then I went to, the headquarters. I went, oh, that is beautiful. That is so beautiful. So how excited are you to get in there and get it started?
I can't wait. I mean, today's the first day, and at 8 o'clock we're going to start block, and it's begun.
So, folks, if you don't know who I'm talking to, I'm going to let her introduce herself because, like I said, she's one of the greatest conductors in the world. There's people that are, like, looking at her on YouTube trying to figure out how she does what she does. Who are you?
I'm Caitlin Hall. I'm one of the drum majors. I go to UNT, music ed.
That's huge. UNT, I'll tell you, I mean, you know this as well. UNT has so many crossmen that have been there or going there. Future crossmen are going there. How big is the music program at University of North Texas?
Actually, it's the biggest in the United States with 1,600 students.
What?
And the drum corps community is huge. There's probably about 60 or so active drum corps members at UNT right now.
Wow.
Yeah, we live about 20 minutes south of UNT, and the school is constantly putting on free concerts at local venues because these kids,
really,
part of their major, no matter what instrument they're on, they have to perform. And there's local churches and local halls, even a mile from my house, and there's constantly free performances you can go watch from all different
I need
genres.
to move.
Oh, yeah.
You don't get
it's
that in
fun.
San Antonio.
It's fun.
You don't get that in San Antonio. But, I mean, how cool is it? I mean, obviously you're back for another year. Do you have any new drum majors?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have one more addition to the team named Spencer. He is graduating high school this year.
Ooh. So how's Spencer looking?
Good
a little
so
nervous?
far. Yeah.
Doesn't know what's going to happen?
Not yet.
She says that with that sly smile. Not yet. He doesn't know. He has a clue. So what's in store for his first week as a drum major for the Crossmen?
A lot of walking.
That you can put out, that you can tell folks.
Honestly, it's probably a lot of Met running, pressing the button, behind-the-scenes stuff.
Fixing stuff, getting everything ready.
Yeah.
Fixing all the electronic stuff.
Yeah, because it doesn't work. I mean, obviously, there's so much of things that go on that a lot of folks wear different hats. You know, you're like, oh, this is what my job is, but this needs to be done in order for me to do this. So I know we did something last year, you and I think it was Battle of Flowers or something, and you weren't injured, but you're injured now.
Yes.
So what happened?
Okay. Well,
here we go.
The leaders moved in early yesterday, and we had this workshop. And after the workshop, we did some of the paperwork stuff, and I was cutting drill with the big paper cutter thing, and I cut my hand and had to go to the ER and get stitches, and that was fun.
Last year was her eye.
Yeah,
right,
last
I remember
year.
that.
Yeah.
There's always something.
Yeah, but hopefully I got it out of the way this year, and
Let's get it done now.
I'll be good to go.
So this isn't your age out year, is it?
No, actually I age out in 2016.
Wow.
Same year as Connor. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm finishing up my second year in college, so I'm young for where I'm at.
How old are you?
19.
Yep.
But I have a bonus year.
Same year. Same year as my son. He'll do 6 years here. I've got one in his 5th year here and one in his 4th year here, and we've got another couple after this. So.
Do you have any like nephews or nieces that you're gonna bring into the Crossmen after they're done?
No, one nephew. He's 14, but he lives in New Jersey.
He can still come down.
He's not a musician. He's a baseball player.
Hey,
really good.
If he can carry
player.
a bat, he can carry a rifle. He can do color guard. I'm just saying that right now because color guard's hard work. There's no way I could have done that.
That's what I did when I marched.
It's hard.
It's real hard.
Caitlin obviously is an award-winning musician. Tell everybody what you won at Worlds Week last year.
Last year.
Oh, I won the INE competition.
And what did you play?
Flute, my woodwind.
She's a woodwind, but you know what? She's a conductor of the Crossmen. That's how good it is. No, there's a young man I was talking to earlier. He said he plays the saxophone, and I was like, well, hey, you know what? You can still play the Crossmen. You learn a different instrument.
I just brought a girl with me. She's a woodwind, and she was a high school drum major and decided to switch over to brass and discovered drum corps, and she's here contracted. She's playing mellow.
You know, it's funny because I did a run here in San Antonio for a local high school, and I asked the drum line because they were they're right there at the start line with me, and I said, "Oh, have you guys ever drum corps?" Because of course I had my Crossman banners on and everything up, and the guy was like, "No, what's that?" And I was like, "You've never heard of Drum Corps International?" No. I asked the band director. He goes, "Yeah, they really don't know about that." I was like, "Well, you need to advise them that there's more than just this right here. They can move on." He's like, "No, these kids won't. They won't play after high school." And I was like, "That's sad."
That's sad. I found out about it in high school. My high school band, back in the early '80s, our director was a tech at a local drum corps up in Boston and got us all hooked into it. And my kids' high school, one of their high school band directors, two of them actually, one marched Phantom and one marched Blue Devils. So they don't talk about it much in the high school programs, but they do if you ask about it.
Oh, no, my snare leader was a Blue Devil, and our drum tech, or our drum instructor, it was a drum instructor at the time, he was a old regiment regime. And I used to come home with bruised knuckles all the time because my snare sticks were not at the perfect height. So, yeah. I mean, it was one of those things, but you go to schools, they don't know anything about DCI, and then you go to high schools, and there's like 7 or 8, kids in DCI in the marching band. And you have that a lot here in San Antonio. Johnson High School is huge with that. Reagan High School. Like my son's middle school drum tech next year was on the Crossman. My wife's high school assistant band director was a Crossman member a couple years ago. So it's one of those things that you see Crossman all over the place. And obviously when you guys go to the West Coast, you're going to see a whole new Crossman group because they haven't been over there yet.
Have you seen the advertisement that the Blue Devils put out for the first show?
I haven't seen it yet.
It's really cool because the Blue Devils is the first show we're going to. It's one of their home shows.
Right.
And they have an advertisement out, and DCI's published it too. And it goes, Blue Devils with the Crossmen, and we're featured on there.
I saw that.
They have, it's really cool.
And Caitlin's like front and center.
Yeah.
And
you actually go on after the Blue Devils on the first show.
I saw that part, like in the lineup.
How cool is that?
And there's a lot of kids from the West Coast that have marched East Coast corps, even back in the 70s and 80s, and they have moved their families out west, and they haven't seen the Crossmen in years and years and years.
That's what I'm saying. It's going to be a big Crossman gathering. Folks will be going, oh, wow, the Crossmen are coming.
A bunch of friends my husband Facebooks with from his friends from way back in the 70s and 80s are like, we're going. We haven't seen that corps in like 20, 25 years. We're going to a show.
Well, it's going to be a great show. Obviously, new uniforms. The music's going to be spectacular. Caitlin, what can you tell folks? I mean, it's supposed to be a secret and everything, but what can you tell folks about this year, besides being a 40th year? Let me see if I can do this easier. What can they expect when they say Crossman?
Crossman will be feared.
Come watch the show. It'll move you.
Yep, Jim Emersol's on. He's like, the crowds in California are waiting.
I don't doubt that.
There's going to be emotional highs and lows in the show. It'll be it'll get your attention.
And you were talking about Allentown earlier. It's just one of those things like there's so many alumni that are going to be there that week. Obviously, they're going to be there. How cool is it for you yourself that you're going to be conducting the Crossmen with so many folks that have marched before you?
I think it's amazing. It's really cool to be surrounded by people who have done what you are doing now.
Right.
And just the overall acceptance that they have for the whole corps. Even like we don't even know each other, but they.
And the banquet's in Allentown this year.
Yeah, but you don't know each other, but you've got that one single bond.
Mm-hmm.
Crossmen.
It's instant respect.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was talking to someone earlier and he had a Blue Angel patch on, and I was like, oh, yeah, I used to wear that patch. He's like, really? Did you buy it? I'm like, no, I was in the blues for 4 years. He goes, whoa, you were actually in the... I'm like, yeah, I was one of those guys. But I'm not anymore. I wear flip-flops for a living, so I love it. So what are you looking forward to this year?
I look forward to just seeing the shows every year. I mean, I count down the days until we get to go to a real performance. And then in between, we do nothing but sit on Facebook and watch them live, DCI Fan Network, catch all the shows we can catch. And
yeah, because social media is so huge now. I mean, obviously 40 years, there wasn't Facebook back then, Twitter, Instagram, all this stuff. I mean, literally, you're walking off the field and we see the scores.
We see the scores.
Yeah. And you're like, I wonder what our score was. And we're like, oh, we already know it. We'll tell you.
I have this notebook. We're such DCI geeks at our house. We're so passionate about this. We have a notebook that we track every corps score, open class and world class, for every show, and this will be the third year all in one notebook. And I put the Crossman shows in red ink, everybody else's shows in black ink.
Wow.
And we follow it every single day. We do nothing but wait up. I even wait up to the California shows are over.
You are a band geek.
Yeah.
So, Caitlin, who is the corps to watch this year? Let's see if she gets this.
Us.
Thank you very much, Crossman. Obviously, you got a lot of friends around the DCI, around different corps and everything. Who have you all been talking smack to each other already, or are you just like, hey, just have a great season and we'll see you on the road?
More like have a great season. I'm really excited to see other corps shows and everything, and to see a lot of new faces because a lot of people are starting to pick up on the activity.
Right.
Even at UNT, even though like there is a huge base there, more and more people are joining, and I think it's great. And I encourage anyone to just go out and march somewhere.
Yeah, because when I marched back in the early '80s, when you said that, I looked at you like I was the same person you were. It was mainly a lot of guys that were doing this. Because I had friends, like I said, my section leader was a Blue Devil, and they were like, "Oh no, the girls don't go on the road as much."
Girls pretty much only did guard now.
Exactly.
There
now,
was a few, but not too many.
Now, yeah, exactly. And now the girls are comprise most of the corps, if not conducting the corps. So what would you want to tell a young freshman or 8th grader out there just like, "Oh, I saw that on YouTube. I want to do that." What would you tell them?
Do it.
Yeah, I would highly recommend to do it. Being a female woodwind player, I had no idea what I was capable of doing until someone literally just came up and said, "Try out." And I was like, "What?" And I mean, but I did it, and I made it, and I'm here, and I love it, and I recommend it to anybody who, if they have a sliver of a doubt, just do it.
And this year, there's a ton of new open class corps popping up all over the country. And they don't have to do the full DCI heavy duty tour. If they're not sure, find an open class corps. They do a modified tour. They still go on the road. They still rehearse. They still go to the same shows. Just do it.
Yeah, the Guardians just got accepted to be an open class corps.
There's a new one out of Washington State this year.
Yeah, Guardians right here north of San Antonio. The executive director was like, "Yeah, people said I couldn't do it. I did it, and now look where we're going now." I mean, he literally has put his heart, blood, soul, everything into that corps. And congratulations! Of course, last year they won the drum battle, I think, that we did on June 13th for MMX.
The one here.
Yeah, it was Genesis. No, it was Genesis versus the Guardians. Yeah, Genesis, and they're going to come back. June 13th is our MMX here in San Antonio. It's at Comalander Stadium, Blossom Athletic Center, right here on Jones-Malsberger Road. June 13th. The performance, obviously, you want to come see the Crossmen, brand new uniforms, see what's going on, and then obviously watch the drumline battles as we're going to have like 3 or 4 of the most incredible drumlines in the world come out here and perform.
And then the next day, Saturday, the 14th, Austin, the state capital.
Oh, hold on.
Stand still.
Before we do that, we got to run the 1 mile.
And the next day after that, the standstill in South Lake Carroll, South Lake up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
That is huge. That is huge. Of course, you can go to information, crossman.org on the website, or follow them on Twitter at Crossman. But the Father's Day Drum and Bugle Corps event at South Lake Square has gotten huge. I mean, there's thousands of folks out there now that are watching it. How cool is that?
It's great, especially since my parents just moved up to Dallas. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, they get to come see me, and that's the first show that they see me at, even though it's a standstill. And it's really great there.
There's a lot of kids from this corps from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and their parents all come and refresh all their snacks and goodies and give them extra tour money.
Right.
And the last hugs and kisses goodbye before they hit the road. So it's a fun venue.
Yeah, because, I mean, obviously your child is in the Crossman, but how much I'm having a loss right now, but how open are you to be able to see them on the road? Like, can you just go and walk up to them and go, "Hey, how are you?" Or you like, "Okay, I got to wait and find out when the right time is"?
You have to find out what the right time is, and what you do is you go to the Corps' housing site. You go to the Corps' website, and they actually have a calendar of their housing sites. So when there's a show near you, within 100 miles, that's near in Drum Corps standards, you find out where they're housing, and you can go up and watch a rehearsal. That's the best way to get in touch with the kids. If you go to a show site, the kids are pretty focused from the minute those buses stop until after the performance. Usually you can hang with your kids after performance if you go to a competitive show. But if you can catch them at the housing site before or after, that's the best time to do it.
Yeah, because when you're on the buses, it's shenanigans.
No.
Until you get there.
What shenanigans?
Shenanigans. I tried to get Good News Joe last year to tell me what happens on the buses, and he's like,
"You'll never find out."
I'm not at liberty to say. And I was like, "Well, I know on our drumline bus, because we used to ride with the band until they kicked the drum line off the bus, and we had to get our own bus. No one would go on our bus.
You will almost never get the kids to talk about what they do on the bus, except for as they're pulling into a show site. They usually have hype CDs.
Yes.
They're getting focused. They all have their way of focusing, being prepared for the show. But other than that, they sleep a lot in the buses. The rest of it is drum corps privacy.
I'd say
What
that's
happens
true.
on the bus?
sleep.
What happens
As
on
soon
the
as,
bus stays on the buses.
As soon as I get on the bus, I'm out. I'm
Yeah.
so tired.
Yeah, because
fall
it's a
asleep.
long day. It ain't like you just like, oh yeah, we'll wake up, go do the show, and then we'll go back to sleep. I mean,
And
it's
their bodies
because you
know.
got rehearsal before the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Their bodies know when they pull into a housing site, they can tell the difference between pulling up to a red light and stopping. Their bodies just know to wake up and get off the bus. And when they hit that seat, there's a little bit of fun time, and then they're done. Kids are sleeping.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So what's the one thing you're looking forward to?
I don't know if I have one thing. There's just several. I really like the home shows, the Texas shows, just because I have family all over Texas.
Right.
And it's really refreshing to see them and have them see exactly what I do. Because I remember the first time I told them that I was doing drum corps, they're like, "Oh, marching band," and I'm like, "Yeah,
Not so
well."
much.
Yeah. So whenever I get to perform for my family or friends and show them like what I'm a part of, I really enjoy that. So.
It's amazing. Of course, folks, if you're listening to us and you're like, okay, they got 3 weeks before they start the tour and everything, but June 13th, the MMX here. The tickets are very, very cheap. You can't get them any cheaper than what they are right now. They're $10. You can email me, mp@ispeakforyou.net, or go to crossman.org. Buy your tickets to the MMX. It's a Friday night. It's a beautiful stadium, plenty of sitting, plenty of parking. You're not be like, oh, there's no place to park.
And you can get tickets at the gate, too.
Yeah, you can get tickets at the gate if you don't want to go online. But go online to crossman.org, pre-order your tickets, get them ready to go, and then come and join us on a beautiful Friday night in San Antonio. And obviously we've got so many brand new Crossmen this year. How are they looking? How do they come along for these next 3 weeks?
They're looking great so far. The thing I really admire about them is their attitude. So, like, everybody's super excited. It's all yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir.
I noticed that.
They had a really good work ethic this winter camp season. The last 2 camps, they were throwing drill on the field. And after the first block where they started learning drill, man, they were picking it up really fast, accommodating to changes, learning it, running it. It's going to be good. They're going to be ready.
Because we did you're talking about doing a standstill. We did one, I think it was Fiesta or Battle Flowers or something like that, where you and I did it, and people were like, "Wow, they're really good." I go, "Yeah, but that's only like 35 people of the Corps. That wasn't the 150 that we have." So once you get, I mean, even if you're doing a standstill at South Lake or Austin at the Capitol, it is super loud and it is super powerful.
Yes.
So how is it? I mean, obviously coming from high school and everything like that, and then you go in front of the Crossmen, and you go up there the first time to conduct, and they hit you with those notes. And Chris Lyman, I haven't even seen yet. He's been dying to get on the radio, but he's like, Mark, those notes can make people cry. Mm-hmm. So when you're conducting and they're like just going right at you, does it take your breath away?
Yeah, I usually get goosebumps.
That's so
like
amazing.
Every time.
I'm gonna start crying
the hair
right now.
off the skin on your arm. It moves you because you feel it. It actually goes through you.
You're so awesome.
The sound is just, there's nothing like sitting in front of
So
a
when's
drum
our first
corps
rehearsal that we get to watch?
Tonight,
8 o'clock.
On the field?
I
No, I'm
think
talking
it's
about where we go.
brass block first.
Yeah.
I got airport runs at 8.
Yeah, because you're driving all night.
I got airport runs at 8, 9, 10, 30, and 12, so I'll catch them in between.
Yeah, so what happens, folks, is like I said, the 151's the greatest volunteers in the world. They're here. They're on the road. They're picking up crossmen from the airport. They're picking up crossmen from the bus stations.
Cooking.
I mean, they're coming in from everywhere. Cooking. Yeah, Petey's in the truck right now.
Fixing up the equipment truck.
Yep.
Labeling stuff. Getting uniforms ready.
It's just
taking
amazing.
Kids to clinics.
It's a hubbub. And the parents are coming in. Like to thank the parents for dropping their kids off and giving them a kiss and saying bye, giving them lunch money.
Tonight's kind of crazy because the rookies don't know what's in store. They've all heard about all winter camp season long. It's wait till spring training, wait till spring training, wait till spring training. And now they're like, oh, God, what am I in for?
Yeah, because the
vets
first week's
like,
the hardest.
Yeah, the vets are like, okay, here we go. Yeah, they're ready. And everybody's adrenaline's flowing. So tonight's kind of a crazy night. And everybody just settles down tomorrow, and it just becomes routine.
How hard is it to wake up early tomorrow morning?
Honestly, I don't think it's that difficult. It's every morning after that.
Right. It's like, oh, here we go. We're doing it again. Oh, we're doing it again.
Yeah, it just becomes part of routine to where you just get used to it.
That's amazing. Of course, folks, go to crossman.org online or on Twitter. It's @Crossman. So much going on. We're going to have shows every week. And, of course, the MMX on June 13th, we're going to do that live. I know I need to get that young man over here. There's Chris. Chris finally walked in. Eddie, tell Chris to come here.
Turn around.
Look at him. He just told
I'm
the.
going to go unload my car.
All right, thank you,
I've got
ma'am.
to get my luggage out so I can grab.
I know you got work to do. Look at him. Chris is like, I'm going on the air finally. I'm going on the air finally. Chris Lyman, of course, the screamer of all screamers, right here.
He's got. Inflate my ego anymore.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Stop that.
Because I had you on my website. I was on the Crossman 1 mile run, and I've had so many people go, who was that and what was he hitting? I was like, I don't know. I was crying and my ears were bleeding, but it was amazing. So what note was that?
It was a double G. If you're looking at a treble staff, it's the G above the one on top of the staff.
So what you've hit something better than that though?
I currently attend University of North Texas.
Well, another UNT. Here we go.
So go Mean Green. Call. I'm in the pep band and the marching band and such, and I've played C's above that and sometimes D's above that.
I like the penguin pillow. I like the penguin pillow walking by. Oh my goodness. I love it. Who's
Pierre
that for,
and
Mom?
Dolly.
Daughter and friend got Pierre. Oh, there you go. So you've got so much going on, and now you're back with the Crossman. You aged out, obviously, last year. Which
2012. 2012 is when I aged out.
What year is this? Is this 2014?
2014.
It's 2014.
I'm having brain fart. That's what happens when you get old. But you aged out, and then and you're back. What are you doing for the Crossman this year?
As of right now, I am an intern for the brass staff, but I hope to eventually work my way back up to a technician position once I get my feet wet and teaching and everything, and hopefully make the brass line sound a lot better, and get us back into finals.
Because it is a stepping process. I mean, I think I asked you this offline, of course, and everything off the air. But how hard is it to be sitting there doing what you do, not having that instrument in your hand, and going, no, I want you to play it like this. No, it needs to be like this.
I mean, it's kind of hard to put into words what I know how to do with my instrument, but it's finding the right words to say at the right time, and
being constructive.
Yeah, and being constructive and being consistent as well. And that's a really hard thing to do, is be consistent with the information you're giving, with regards to the program you're trying to teach.
Right. So when you're conducting and everything, and you've conducted, Chris and guys of that caliber, and then you have new folks coming in, and you're going, wait a minute, that doesn't sound the same as what I'm used to. But you let the techs take care of all that, right? You let the
I don't teach. Well, I mean, I want to be a teacher one day. That's what I'm studying to become. But I just wave my arms. That's all
just
I do.
wave my arms. You do a lot more than wave your arms.
Arm flapper extraordinaire over there.
All right, yeah. Both of you guys go to UNT. I mean, I'm so glad Fred didn't move to Dallas or the UNT area, because it would be a lot different, because you'd probably have the whole UNT band in the Crossman.
Probably.
Something like that, yeah. Although our band is like 400 strong, so it's a little big.
Yeah.
Wow. That's got to be powerful.
Yeah, to an extent, it can be very powerful. And at times it can also be kind of disappointing, because you would expect just this massive wall of sound.
Right.
And sometimes, given to demands and conditions, it can be a little bit less,
Oh, yeah. Vint Ferguson from iText, great program with the Crossman. Of course, he's I can't wait to see like huge see and hear the Crossman at MMX.
Oh, yeah?
Because what we hear tonight is totally different what we're going to hear at MMX, which is totally different what we're going to hear at the San Antonio show, which is totally different what we're going to hear from Worlds.
Yes.
Because it just evolves, right? I mean, the show changes, and there's so much going into it.
I've in my 4 years, there was one thing that kind of stuck out to me in regards to what you're talking about. You'll never perform the same show twice. It's always going to be different in some way. And even if there were no changes from one show to the next, someone's going to perform it at either a better caliber or make a mistake. And you hope it's not the latter, but you do have very different shows every night.
What you say you, Caitlin? What say you?
Oh, well, until I actually joined the activity, I didn't realize how different shows could be.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I watched all the time, but the only live show I was able to go to was the San Antonio Regional.
Right.
So then that's all I really saw of each show. And I didn't realize that at least like for us last year, we made like a major change to the closer, and it was a completely different closer. And I just didn't realize so much changing happened during the season.
It's amazing that transformations like that, because a lot of people think, especially like in high school, it's like, this is the show, we can't change it because, this is where you need to be on this spot at this note and stuff like that. But with DCI, it all evolves, obviously. Now, when you had said something a second ago, and like I said, I'm getting old, so I forget things, but you had said something a second ago, when you were playing, did you ever come up to your solo or your note and go, man, I don't know, my throat has it for this. I don't know if I'm ready to do this.
I tried to live without that kind of fear my age out year, just because I didn't want to mess up. I wanted to, ever since I started marching, I wanted to be one of the most respected soloists in DCI history,
which I think you became.
Yeah, thank you for inflating my ego.
I'm just
I'm just kidding. No, I wanted to be one of the more respected soloists, and I knew what I needed to do to get there was to be flawless every time. And to be flawless every time, you have to be consistent. And so building consistency for me was key. So I tried to change nothing every time I went up. And I did have moments where I went back on my word and I did change some things. But I was thankful to have my brass staff around me and some designers along the way, like Chuck Napier, come in and slap my hand and say, hey, you're not doing it the same way. You need to go back to what you were doing before.
Good old Chuck.
So, I think I'm thankful for that around me, and that's, so I never did have a doubt in my mind that I was going to mess it up. I always approached it with confidence. So.
That's good. So I'm going to ask you guys this question before we sign off and everything. Being the leadership, I'm not talking about the admin staff and stuff like that with Fred and Maureen and Joel and Rico and Chelsea and all them, but as the leadership that's been on the field, I mean, and knows what it's like to actually be there sweating in 100 degrees and day in and day out and everything, what can you advise to the, like I said, to the 8th graders, 9th graders that are going, man, I want to be that one day? What would you be your number one advice for them besides practice? Chris?
I was going to let you go first. Ladies first.
I guess my biggest advice besides practicing, because I think that would probably be number one, would second to be to stay inspired. Remember why you want to do it, because I think that is the biggest motivator in the activity, is whenever you do hit everybody hits their wall at some point and they're like, oh, I can't do this anymore. But as soon as they hit that, when you remember why you're in the activity and why you want to do it, whatever reason that is for you, that's the most important thing.
For me, I think she kind of hit it on the head there, is staying motivated. And by staying motivated, what I always say is know where you want to see yourself in the end. And the other thing is leave no regrets.
Right.
Because you'll never be able to go back and change what has happened already. If there's nothing that I could have wanted to change about my final performance in 2012. I felt like I put everything out there and I didn't make any mistakes, and I went out the way I wanted to be remembered. And obviously that's working, so everyone's remembering me so far.
It's just amazing. And I mean, obviously you're going to see a lot of high schoolers from here in the San Antonio area come over and watch rehearsals and stuff like that, and they're going to be going, man, I don't know if I can do that, but obviously they can.
I don't think for people to have doubts in their mind is a bad thing, because anyone can do drum corps. I've seen people with tons of problems and even disabilities, and they still come out, audition, get a spot, and they stick it out through the entire summer. And there will be people that are not in the best shape or whatever, and they go in regretting their life at first, but in the end they come out as a stronger person. They have more dedication, they have more just personal confidence, and that's key. Never give up. It's if you have a doubt in your mind, you're gonna fail. You just got to stay confident all the time.
Tell you, it's going to be interesting. And obviously, we've got a great drum major camp coming up in a couple weeks. So if you want to know what it's like to be a drum major conductor of one of the best, you've got to go on crossman.org. Fred's over here making sign languages and everything. Okay. All right. Bye, Fred. I know you've got things to do. But no, obviously you come out and learn from the best. Caitlin's going to be here. Obviously the Crossman drum majors are going to be here. So what can they expect from drum major camp?
Kara works with Contempo, and she's in charge of the drum major camp.
Former drum major of the year for DCI.
Yeah, she's great. She does a great job, and I sat in a couple of her workshops, and she takes you through what it's like to be a high school drum major, and she also tells you what to expect, like in the drum corps world, and you get to observe and be part of brass rehearsal, and it's just a great experience. And everyone who went learned a lot. I learned a lot too, just watching.
It's amazing. I got one more question before we sign off. When you stepped up on the platform the very first time, what was the thought going through your head?
Oh, my goodness.
And, Chris, the very first time you went out there and did your solo, what was the thought going through your head when you stepped on that field knowing that this was your show?
I think I said, well, here we go. This is it. This is the beginning of the end for me. As a performer, this is the beginning of the end, and I better, just start it now. And, I set the bar pretty high for myself the first time out, and I didn't ever really want to set back from that. So just, here we go.
I'm telling you, folks, and again, he just said it. Here we go. The Bones have moved in. They're coming all night long, but they start off tonight. They've got blocks going on, and then at 10 o'clock, the big meeting. And then tomorrow, all the Crossmen will be here, and it'll be on like Donkey Kong. But we'd like to thank you guys for coming out. Thanks, everybody, for listening. The alumni, thank you for what you did to get them here where they are today. The 40th year has just begun. Thank you guys for sitting down with us and everything. I know, Chris, we're going to have you on again. Obviously, right. We'll have Caitlin on again next week. We're going to do this next Friday night. Week 1, we're going to talk to folks and say, how did you survive the first week? And they laugh about it. Again, folks, thanks for listening. God bless. Take care. Have a great weekend. Stay hydrated, and we'll see you soon. The Bones move in. Of course, you find out more information at crossman.org or on Twitter at Crossman.